Okay, even though I love swimming in the outdoors, and I still through the winter swim in open water for the enjoyment, for my winter swimming and ice swimming, I do a lot of my distance work in the pool, because this is where I can get guaranteed long sessions through the winter, especially if I'm doing 5 kilometers or longer. I come in the pool to do my sets. But what you have to be careful of is not to get injured. What people sometimes do is they go in the pool and they build up the distance too quickly. So they go from maybe doing 2 kilometers 3 times a week, all of a sudden they'll start doing 20 kilometers a week, 30 kilometers a week. Okay, you can put too much stress on your shoulders too quickly. So make sure you gradually increase the distance. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a little bit about warming up before you go do a swim. Okay. When people come swimming at the pool, what they often do is they might just have an hour to swim. And so they'll say to themselves, right, I'll spend 15 minutes warming up in the pool and then I'll start my session. What happens is as soon as you get in the pool, you've got people behind you, people in front of you, and you end up swimming a bit faster than you wanted to. You're not really warming your shoulders up properly. Then you go into your main sets, and that's when you can pick up injuries because you're just not warmed up enough. Now I'm lucky enough to travel around the world at the FINA 10-kilometer marathon swim events at the World Cups. And there I see the best swimmers in the world preparing for their training sessions. All of them warm up for at least half an hour. Now, we're not elite athletes, we don't have that much time, but it is important, I feel, is to get the shoulders nice and warm before you even go in the pool. So here I am, I'm here before a triathlon swimming session I'm going to take part in. I always arrive a little bit early and I do my own warm-ups first. And I don't want to do any sort of hard stretching because again, your shoulder's still cold at the moment. What I want to do is warm up my shoulders before I go in the pool. So I've got these are bungee cords. People also use the basic physio stretch bands you can get. Either is perfect. I like these. What I do is I find a place to attach them to on the pool side. And I do a series of warm-ups. So I'll just basically go through what I do. Now there's different ways of doing these, and I'm sure people have got different preferences, but if you haven't done these before, this will give you a basic idea. Now, ideally I'd have this set a little bit higher, but this is what I've got, so I'll work with that. And what I do first of all is, with the bungee cords, it's ideal. The closer you stand to the bungee cords, the less resistance you have. So you can start off a little bit closer, and then as you're getting more and more warmed up, you can move out a little bit and get more resistance on those cords. So first of all, what I do is I just mimic the action of swimming pretty much, and I'll do 20 repetitions of 2 hands together. Hold my hands out in front of me like I'm going to do the high catch, but again, I don't have much resistance at first. Put my head down, and I just do 20 double arm pulls, nice and easily, and there I want my shoulders and my lats. Okay, so not much resistance again. I'll do 20 of those, and I'll start to feel a bit more warmed up. The next one I'll do is single arm. So again, single arm, just mimicking the action of my swimming, as you can see, nice and long, not much resistance. I'm just warming up the shoulders. I'm using a little bit of body rotation in there. And I'll do 40 of those, so that's 20 on each arm. And then I'll repeat. So again, I'll do 20 double arm, and then relax a little bit, shake my arms out, and then do 40 single arm. After I've done that, I step closer to the bungees. And what I want to do now is shoulder rotation. This is really important for swimmers. What you're doing here is you're stretching out again your deltoid here, deltoid major mainly, and also a little bit of lats. But all I'm doing is I have my arm across my chest and I'm just stretching the arm around. Again, when your shoulder is cold, you haven't warmed up, you stand nice and close, so there's not much resistance, and you're just doing your shoulder stretching. So again, I'll do 15 of those when I'm first starting, just to warm up that shoulder. And then what I'll do is, with the other arm, so I don't bother moving around at the moment, I have my elbow against my side, And I'm bringing my arm across my chest with the other arm. Again, nice and easy, not much resistance at the moment. Got a little bit of crunching going on my shoulder there because I had a hard session yesterday. So again, I do 15, 20 of those, and then I turn and face the other direction, and then I'm doing it with the other arm. Okay, so I'm going to cross with my one arm, and then cross with the other arm. So just go through that again, because I think this is a really important stretch. Stand, not much resistance to start off with, and just elbow locked into your side. You're not swinging your arm around, and just do some nice, short arm pulls there, with the other arm, pulling all the way across. So again, I'll do about 15 of those to start off with, on both sides, and now repeat that. And then after I've done that, I'll probably do just a few more double arms again, just to stretch my arms out. And then what I'm going to do now is work on my triceps. So I have my arms locked to the side. All I'm doing now is just pushing the final part of the swim stroke. So I'm not going all the way through, I'm not swinging wildly, I'm just warming up my arms on the final part. And again, I'll do 20 of those, stretch out a little bit, and then I'll do another 20. Okay, another good stretch. When you're swimming, you spend a lot of time almost hunched over in the pool with your stroke. So then, to warm up, get all your chest and shoulders stretched out. Just do shoulder pull, nice high elbow. It's a really nice one. I tend to do this one after I get out as well, when I'm warming down. Just gets everything nice in line again. So double arm on the shoulder. Now, I can, if I've got plenty of time, I'll repeat all of that. So I really feel nice and warmed up. And then just to finish off with, I get the bungees, I'll step on it, and then again for the shoulders, when my shoulder's still a bit cool, I give plenty of bungees slack. When I feel a bit warmer, I'll reduce the amount of bungee, and all I'm doing now is just lifting my arms up, vertical lift. Again, my shoulders get really nicely stretched and warmed up now. 10 on each side, and then just repeat that, and that's it. I'll finish off maybe with a few extra just sort of stretches, just getting my shoulders nicely warmed up. But if you spend about 15 minutes just doing those stretches before you do your long swims, then you're going to have less injuries, and that's really important, especially when you start increasing the mileage for training for a long distance swim. First of all, you might be a bit self-conscious about coming in the pool and stretching, especially if nobody else is doing this, but the benefits you get from coming in the pool a little bit earlier, getting your arms nicely warmed up before your training session, you'll really feel it in the long run. Okay, so when you start to increase the distance, obviously you need to think about your technique and make sure you get a nice long stroke, and each pull has to be as efficient as possible as you go through the water. But as I said, the important thing is to make sure you don't overdo the distance too quickly, but you do have to get your distance up. Imagine you're running a marathon. When you run a marathon, you have to put in lots of time on the road doing long swims. So what I do is I swim with the triathlon club here. I swim 4 times a week, where I'm doing, they're doing lots of 100s, 200s, faster paced stuff, which is great, because I want to keep my speed going. But then when I'm swimming by myself, I start off doing 3Ks, just straight swims in the morning, onto 4, onto 5. So I'm coming under 6 kilometers in the morning, just doing a straight swim up and down. What that's doing is I work on my stroke, I get really efficient. I also make sure that psychologically I'm strong enough just to keep going for the set distance. And also all the speed work I do in the pool, I counterbalance that with a long distance swim in the pool. And as soon as it gets warmer out in the lake, when it gets up to sort of 13, 14 degrees, then I'll start doing my long distance swims in the lake as well. Okay, good luck.